It seems Dorney's time has finally come because new evidence has surfaced that suggests that they are going to be adding a roller coaster for the 2024 season. This is long overdue. This is a park that has not received a new roller coaster since 2012. That is with Stinger, which closed in 2017. The last roller coaster that they added that is still at the park was Hydra in 2005. A lot of people refer to Dorney as that forgotten stepchild park of Cedar Fair. It was kind of grouped together with Worlds of Fun, and look what's happening in Worlds of Fun. They're getting a new roller coaster for the 2023 season. So it absolutely makes sense that Dorney gets a new roller coaster. The question is, what type of ride will it be? So here's what we got. This right here is a formal request that Dorney Park put forward with their local planning commission to review their 2024 project. As you can see here, they're looking to install a roller coaster that is 161 feet tall at the site of where Stinger used to be. And the total amount of land it would be taking up is 2.7 acres. Now, our next piece of information. This here is the site plan discovered by friends over at Park Fans, which really gives you the big picture. You can see some of the physical paths, the queue, the new station. Right here is their set of flying scooters that they're going to have to work around. You can also see their haunted house, which is already there. And lastly, a bunch of tiny little dots, which I've highlighted here in yellow, which we believe to be footers. So even though we don't have a confirmed ride layout, you can start to piece some of these together and come up with your own approximate idea of where the path of this track will go. So my goal with this video is to use the existing information that we have to try and determine the manufacturer of the ride as well as the ride model for Dorney Park 2024. But also realize that I am purely speculating here. I have no inside information, so please do not take it as fact. But hopefully we do find out more when that local meeting takes place on February 16th. And of course, if this gets approved, then I'm sure we'll be seeing a bunch of updates throughout the summer season with an announcement probably in August. So to kick things off, let's first talk about the different roller coaster manufacturers and what we will likely not be seeing. With a height of 161 feet, I do not think we're looking at a wind roller coaster. So that would rule out GCI and Gravity Group, which is ironic because a couple of years ago, it seemed like Dorney was looking at putting a Gravity Group shuttle coaster in that plot of land. But according to these new plans, it seems like that is no longer happening. That project most likely got canceled. But hopefully whatever comes next is better. And then straight away, I'm also going to rule out Intamin. It seems like Cedar Fair has been anti-Intamin as of lately. They're kind of going behind their back with Dragster. They ripped out Volcano. We still have no updates about Accelerator. I think they're steering clear of this manufacturer as of right now, so I think we're going to see something else. I also think we can rule out Premier. Main reason for this is that I hesitate that they're going to get a launch coaster, considering that this ride would be located right next to an existing launch coaster, which is Possessed. This ride features multiple passes, goes forwards and backwards, and that's kind of where Premier shines. For this plot of land, it would have to be a custom layout, so it's not like it'd be a Skyrocket 2 or anything. I know a couple of people were speculating that this area right here around the station could possibly be a transfer track, something along the lines of Icebreaker. I'm not so sure about that personally, but a large-scale Premier coaster would certainly be interesting, but I definitely believe there are better options out there. Let's talk about RMC. First of all, a roller coaster by Rocky Mountain Construction would be fantastic here. While they certainly could go with a ground-up iBox, I don't think that would be the best fit, especially since Hershey Park is RMCing Wildcat as of the 2023 season, and that is like an hour away from Dorney, so I just don't think that makes a whole lot of sense. But you could say, okay, they could do a Raptor, but then you also have Jersey Devil not that far away from here. Again, like an hour. But it also makes you wonder, would Cedar Fair work with RMC again? Yes, they added 3 in 2018, but we haven't seen them add another one since. Again, not going to rule it out, but I don't think it's super likely. Mach is up next, and personally, I do not see them putting in a launch coaster here. For a height like this, most of their other launch coasters are nowhere close. If they did a lift hill, then I'd say it'd probably have to be one of their Big Dipper models. The closest you get is Dynamite over in Germany, that's 144 feet tall. So this wouldn't be that much taller, but that's still a relatively compact ride. Dynamite takes up less than half the acreage that this ride would use. So unless it was really spread out, then I don't know about that one. But hey, a Big Dipper would be a welcome addition here. That could be pretty cool. So now we've gone through those, let's talk about our second most likely candidate, and that is Gerstlauer. Something like Hang Time at Knott's Berry Farm, that's 150 feet tall, vertical lift hill, beyond vertical drop. That would work very well here at Dorney. Not to mention, I think it would actually work really well within their budget. If we did go Gerstlauer, then this would be their biggest roller coaster in the US. Yes, bigger than Shellraiser. That's only 141 feet tall. So did Ride Entertainment sell Dorney an Infinity coaster? Maybe. One reason some people are speculating that this could be a Gerstlauer is because they think that this part right here in the plans resembles a turntable. Personally, when I saw that, I didn't think it looked like a turntable. I was leaning more towards like a theming structure, maybe even like a big entrance sign. One thing I'll give Gerstlauer credit for is that they come up with some pretty diverse layouts, so they could definitely do something unique here. Most of their lift hills tend to be vertical. A vertical lift hill 162 feet in the air would be huge. The main reason why I'm straying away from this is because I feel like if we are seeing a vertical lift hill, then this footer structure would look a lot different. Look at how complex these towers are. I feel like we'd see a lot of footers clustered together in one spot. But for those people speculating that this could be a shuttle coaster, I mean, imagine something like Palindrome. Features a lift hill drop, but it's also an incomplete circuit. You hit a spike and then go all the way back. So I'm not going to rule it out. I think it's a very solid option that would still work well here, which is why it is my number 2 pick for Dorney Park 2024. Which leaves my number 1 pick, which I'm actually pretty confident in, B&M and a dive coaster. Yes, I'm going with a B&M dive for my number 1 prediction spot for Dorney Park 2024. And here's why. Cedar Fair works with B&M a lot. They clearly love them, they're reliable, they're people pleasers, and they provide good thrills. This would be the park's 3rd B&M behind Talon and Hydra. The nearest dive coaster is going to be Busch Gardens Williamsburg, which is not really close. It'd be the 3rd dive coaster in the Cedar Fair chain. It would also be the shortest. The other 2 are at Canada's Wonderland and Cedar Point. Both those are over 200 feet tall. But this would be fairly in line with Emperor at SeaWorld San Diego. This would be less than 10 feet taller than that one. And it happens to be even closer in stats to a B&M dive coaster over in China, which is only about 2 feet taller than this one would be. We even know from this line in the plans that that max height would be for a lift structure, which further eliminates the idea that that could possibly be a spike. And of course, the icing on the cake, this model makes sense with the schematics that we currently have. This right here is a mock-up designed by user Intim305. Be sure to go check out his channel. He's soon releasing a full mock-up of what this layout could potentially look like. As you can see, the lift, hold, and drop is exactly in line with that dive coaster over in China. So it would definitely be one of those 6-seaters across, going up into an Immelman as we see with all dive coasters, likely featuring 1, maybe 2 more inversions, maybe a helix, a fairly short layout, but an awesome fit for this park. And it would be very different from every other attraction at their competing parks, Hershey and Six Flags Great Adventure. And it would give Dorney a traditional vertical drop, which they currently don't have. Possess certainly has a vertical drop, but it's not conventional. And it'd feel very different from Steel Force, which is their, of course, biggest roller coaster here. I think it makes a ton of sense, which is why that is the prediction I'm going with. But we will have to wait and see. Honestly, I think most of the attractions I mentioned on this list would be a great fit at Dorney Park. They really just need something good. And all of these manufacturers are incredible. They produce some really cool products. So I'm excited to see what happens. But let me know down in the comments below, what do you think could be coming to Dorney Park in 2024? Do you agree with the points I brought up? Do you think there's anything I missed? Be sure to post that down below and stay tuned for more here at Coaster Studios. We'll see you next time.